Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where today we're taking a look at a very hot, relatively kind of new front flipper. This is none other than the Kansept Reverie. Now, before I go any further in this review, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in today. If you like what you see, please do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, follow along, and I will continue to bring you the content. Now, let's take a look at some overall specs on this knife right here. We have an overall length of 7 inches with a blade length coming in at 2.9 inches and a cutting edge, factoring in the belly, just a hair over 3 inches, probably in the 3.1-ish inches area. We have a blade width coming in at 0.875 inches with a blade thickness at 0.14 inches. We have a blade material of S35VN with a very nice clip point style blade with maybe just an ever so slight recurve, maybe not, you be the judge. Looks like more belly to me. We have a flat grind with a handle length coming in at 4.1 inches and a handle thickness at 0.49 inches. We have a handle width of 0.875 inches as well, so you have that very nice balance of width in the handle and blade, very aesthetically pleasing. We have a handle material of titanium and carbon fiber on this model. We'll talk more about this carbon fiber here in a bit because it's pretty hot. And we also have other options available with carbon fiber shred, and there's also a G10 option. Locking mechanism, we have a bolster lock. We have a user of a right hand only tip-up carry, a weight coming in at 2.64 ounces. And the price on this guy is kind of weird. So if you go everywhere other than White Mountain Knives, anywhere other than White Mountain Knives, you're looking at $185 for the G10 version and $249 for this version right here if you're looking at places like Blade HQ or probably any other retailer that carries this. Now, White Mountain Knives, on the other hand, last I checked, and this was as of Thursday. I'm going to be uploading this video on Friday, so I don't know how fast they're going to go, but as of Thursday, White Mountain Knives had these in stock for $200. $200. $50 less. That's fantastic. White Mountain Knives is a very, very good retailer. If you guys haven't checked them out, check them out. I'm going to link this Reverie to White Mountain Knives in the description of the video. They didn't send me the knife. They have supported the channel in the past in one way, but they have nothing to do with this video. But I really like them as a retailer enough. They have helped me out in the past. I'm going to link this knife in there. I don't know how many are left. There's some of the black carbon fiber left, and I think there's some of these left like I said, last I saw. So just click the link, check it out. Like I said, in no way whatsoever am I affiliated with White Mountain Knives. I'm just doing this because I think they're a great retailer, and I always love seeing a retailer with real competitive pricing because everyone else they always use the same, and I don't blame them, but I thought it was really cool that White Mountain Knives had these at a much more affordable price. So gonna give them some props there. And now this was designed by none other than Justin Lundquist, and if you guys know, you know, the man can design some front flippers. Some really, really good ones. We're going to take a look at another one of his here in just a second. He's also designed the Kaiser Feist, which is an extremely popular one. This is going to blow everyone out of the water, but I have yet to ever handle a Kaiser Feist. I know I like Kaiser. I think Justin Lundquist is awesome, but I just have not had time or the funds or whatever to check out a Kaiser Feist. So I may have to do that. I think I'm going to have to just on principle alone. But let's take a look at some size comparisons here and see just what we got here as far as length, width, all that stuff. We'll start off with a couple non-front flippers that I think everyone knows. The Benchmade Bug Out and the Civivi Elementum. If you don't know one, you probably know the other. But odds are if you know one, you know both. And as you can see, very, very similar with the Civivi Elementum in length and width. And I mean, really, in all honesty, the ergos are somewhat similar. You have that choilish area up in front of the Elementum that is nice. You don't have that on the Reverie, but there's other benefits to the Reverie that we'll cover when it comes to ergos. But there's those two, and then we also have a couple front flippers to take a look at. The Civivi McKenna, which I'm sure everybody knows that. If you like front flippers, you probably have, or if at one point had a McKenna. And then another Justin Lundquist design. This is the We Knives Black Void Opus. And this is another very underrated knife. I think a lot of people kind of pass on it because they don't like the chisel grind. They think that, oh, the blade centering's off. No, the blade centering's not off. That's how the knife is supposed to be ground, or the blade is supposed to be ground. But this is a fantastic knife as well, and I believe it's still available at a lot of places. I haven't looked it up lately, but that's another fantastic, more stylish front flipper. So as you can see, the length there, the Opus doesn't ever want to behave, so we'll just let it go. But as you can see, there you have some more size comparisons, and one more group of size comparisons. And these two knives that I'm bringing up next, I'm going to be referencing throughout this entire video. And I think you guys probably know what they are. If you saw the thumbnail of this video, you know what they're going to be. We have two Pena X Series front flippers, deemed by so many people, including myself. I will go on record saying this. I think Pena makes the best, I mean, we're talking production front flippers, right? We're not talking customs or anything like that. I really love these two. I think they're absolutely fantastic. I wish they stood up better, but there you go. These two knives I've always made as kind of like the gold standard of judging a front flipper because the detents are perfect, the ergos are good, and I just really, really love the design of them. So we're going to be going back and forth talking about these two when we talk about this because a lot of comparisons, and I've got to say, this Reverie is putting up a very, very strong fight, and let's get right into it. Let's start on the blade. My opinion, not even gonna hold any words back. Very, very sexy clip point blade. I really love this blade. It has a full flat grind for pretty much the first, probably half of the blade. Full flat grind going all the way up, and then towards the second half of the knife or the back end of the knife, you have not quite a full flat grind, but a relatively high flat grind, making this knife a pretty good slicer and just overall fantastic cutter. Excellent jimping in all the right spots, from the spine to the actual flipping area. You even have some jimping in here on the to access the lock bar. Jimping in just all the right spots, and it's really, really good. Not too aggressive. It works perfectly. I also really like the sharpening choil on this guy. You don't always see great sharpening choils on front flippers, or I mean really any knives in general, but I just really do like that. That's a sharpening choil that is going to be around for quite a long time on this knife. Really, really like the way they designed that. And I also really like how they crowned the spine of this blade. It's not completely crowned. I wouldn't quite put it up with like an Italian knife because you still kind of have edges. It's not fully round all the way down to the full flat grind, but it is round on the top. How can I get that? There you go. So it is rounded on the top. Like I said, it still has its edges, but you notice that your eyes catch it, and it looks really good. It really does add just a slight extra little flair to the class of the blade, so it really does look good. I'm a big fan of that. The only thing I don't like about this blade, and I'm saying this is completely my opinion, and I've always thought this. I've never said it in a review because I've kind of questioned whether or not I should, but in all honesty, and this is again just me, I'm not a fan of the Kansept logo. I don't like the way it looks, and I say that with all due respect to Kansept. I know they take pride in their brand, and I'm not trying to bash it. What it really is it's the OCD in me. I'm not, the asymmetrical design of the logo just, it drives me crazy. If it was symmetrical, I would like it, because I mean it's basically just an X with some, you know, some flare and lines out on the side of it. So I don't know, I still kind of, I don't know, it just drives me crazy. But regardless, that is the only thing that I personally don't like about this blade. But again, that's a very, very nitpicky, subjective, and opinionated thing. So, like I said, I say that with all due respect. I have no issue with Kansept at all. It just, the logo kind of bothers me. But other than that, functionally speaking, the blade is absolutely fantastic. They did a great job on it. It has a good finish. Kind of has that stonewashy, very frosty, mirrored finish. Maybe not frosty, but you can kind of see, as you can see here, you can I'm gonna wave at the camera. Can you see me waving? Yeah, that's me. So you have a little bit of a mirror going on here, but it's just really, really nicely done. So Kansept definitely knows what they're doing, whether or not I like their logo. So I guess you could just forget I said that, but it's just a great blade. It really is a great blade. Going into the handle and ergos. The ergos are excellent on this knife. They are absolutely excellent. And I'm gonna say this right now, it is considerably better than either one of these Pena front flippers, and I truly wholeheartedly mean that. I sat around one night watching some episodes of Yellowstone, which I'm falling in love with, and I literally just held this in my hand, put it down for a while. I got one of my Penas and held it. This one, the ergos are very average on this one, completely average. This one, the ergos are really good because it's curved, it's a little smaller, it fills my hand better. So these two are comparable. But what really makes this Reverie better in my eyes and in my opinion is just that extra little bit of width and length you get. And it's also, it's a little thinner and it's a little flatter. They're both contoured. They both have some rounding to the handle, but this has a little, the Reverie has a little less. And it really does make a difference in my hand. Like I said before, I have kind of wide hands. They're kind of skinny, but they're wide. And this feels fantastic. No hot spot, no nothing. The way the handle kind of curves in with my hand, it just feels excellent. It's by far better than both of these two. It's not better than both these two knives in general, but it is definitely better when it comes to ergos. The fat carbon scale on this one is especially awesome. Now, they do make some Pena front flippers with the fat carbon. I've never had one. I do love my Carta. You guys know that. That's why I have these two in my Carta. But what they have here is really, really nicely done fat carbon. And what makes me love it even more is if you look close, there is texturing on this carbon fiber. And you can kind of see it. There are little diagonal lines going in here. Yeah. Can you see them? If I move them around on this side, they're kind of going up like this. But you really do feel that texture. And a big reason why I like this is this fat carbon, and a lot of carbon fiber, it's not just fat carbon. If you make the surface completely flat, you can get these kind of like, I don't know what they are. There's some type of lines from manufacturing. I don't know if it's from completely trying to smooth it out or what, but sometimes you can see lines. I have some other scales that have that you only see it if you really put it in the light, but it's one of those things like once you see it, you know it's there and it kind of bugs you. You can't get that on these when they have that texturing. Now, I don't know if this was milled or if it was just pressed, but either way, there it is, the black and blue, you can really kind of see them coming through. It's very, very subtle, but it's also very nice, and you really do notice it. It gives that extra little bit of bite to the surface of the carbon fiber, and I love that. I absolutely love that, and I'm so happy they did that. It was a little touch, it went a long way, and it worked out really, really well. And of course, like I said earlier, I really like the access to this lock bar. I like the jimping, very easy, and it closes just like that. So no issues with the lock bar whatsoever. Now, the only other thing to reference, well, one other thing, the design on the bolster, that's very Justin Lundquist-ish. I've seen that on other designs from him. I like that. You know it's him. It's nothing too fancy or, you know, it doesn't flare and pop out and it's not annoying, but it's just a nice, subtle, simple design to kind of, it's different. I don't have any other knife that has this on there, so it's not like anything else, so I like that. And I like when a designer really sticks to his style, or if he has kind of a thing that he does, and this is one of his things. I can't remember what else I saw it on. Something similar to a knife made, I think it was a exclusive with like Urban EDC Supply. It was a little while ago. It was some type of front flipper, I believe. I never handled one, but I like little touches like that. I do like that. I also like the real simple designs of the Penas, don't get me wrong. But again, for just one knife, I like that touch. I appreciate that a lot. Now this clip here, clips on front flippers are the most important aspect of a front flipper outside of the actual tab and the jimping, because it makes or breaks the knife. It's absolutely huge. It factors in two ways. Of course, the functionality of it going into your pocket and the functionality of deploying the blade. Because what makes Penas amazing is when you close these knives, when you hold these knives in your hand, you are using all of that nice, flat, milled clip it has. I'm telling you guys, this is what makes Penas as good as they are. Yes, they have good detents. Yes, they have good jimping, but these clips are massive. They factor into it so much. I can hold both of these completely firm in my hand. They're not going anywhere, and you just pop the blade out, and it's fantastic. Even just as much, if not maybe a little more with this, because the curve of the handle, it just feels a little better to me. Pops right out, and again, you have full control of it. That is what makes Penas amazing. And the problem with this knife, and I've gotten a lot better with it. At first, I thought it was a devastating problem. Now it's just kind of annoying to me. But this clip, it comes down. It's not flat. It doesn't have that surface to grab onto with all your fingers. It works great on your pinky. You get a good grip with your pinky. You kind of get a grip with your ring finger, and you don't really get anything with your middle finger unless you're really going to the bottom. That's what can make this knife tricky for some people, because if you don't have a pocket clip on a knife like this is hard. I mean, you can do the reach around. There you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. The reach around is very easy on this knife because the detent's great. But the real bread and butter of any front flipper should be, in my opinion, the regular thumb front flip. And this is good. Don't get me wrong. It's good, but this clip, now let me say firsthand, functionally, as far as the clip working and pocket retention and going in and out of the pocket, it's fine. It's great. It does no issues whatsoever. When it comes to ergos and hot spots, no issues whatsoever. Feels fine. Don't really feel it that much at all. No issues whatsoever when it comes to ergos and feel in hand. The problem is when it comes to deployment. It can be tricky to get a solid grip like you have on Penas with this knife. Now, you can get it. Don't get me wrong. I've had this knife now for, I think, about a week and a half, and I've been working on how to hold that clip, because you want to hold the clip and push it into your palm so it's really secure, and then just pop the blade out. But the problem I have, and I still have it sometimes, because you have to just pay a little more attention to it. It comes much more naturally and it's more fluid with the Penas, but you just have to get that good grip, get it secured with your, in this case, really just your ring finger and your pinky, hold it in, and pop the blade out. So that's the only downfall to this knife, is this clip here. I really, really, really wish it had a flat milled titanium clip like the Penas. I'll say a little more about that in my conclusion of the knife, but that's the only thing holding this knife back from being basically a Pena. But action-wise, action is incredibly smooth. Kansept is really, they're boxing above their weight class with this knife, in my opinion. And I don't mean to say that as anything bad to Kansept, but this is just fantastic. The action is almost glassy to where it's incredibly smooth, incredibly smooth. The detent is excellent. It really doesn't get much better. The only way it would get a little better if it was maybe a little more crisp, but I gotta say, I hesitate to say that because this reach around is so easy. Index pull for the children. But children shouldn't be watching this, actually, because I say it's not made for kids. So if you are under whatever age it limits you and you're still watching it, you guys get off, because I don't want to get in trouble. But this is just great. Action's great. It pops out either way. It takes little effort to deploy it once you get it held in your hand and you have that comfortable, secure grip. That is the trick to this knife. And at first, it really was a trick for me. The first day, I struggled with this. But once I got used to it, I mean, I'm pretty natural with it now. So action is excellent. Overall thoughts, and I'm going to say it right now, and guys, again, I completely mean this. If this had a milled clip, like a Pena, and I don't mean like the same design, whatever, just if this clip was just flat, in all honesty, if this clip was just flat and not bent and it didn't dip down, this would be absolutely every bit as good as either one of these Penas. Either one, and I truly mean that. This is a fantastic front flipper. If you're trying to find a Pena front flipper and you can't get one, or they're just too expensive for you, you get the G10 version of this for $185. You save a little under $100 because these are $274 brand new. This is $185, so you're saving $85, $90. Excellent, excellent option. Excellent knife. I really don't have anything negative to say about it other than the pocket clip. I wish that was flat. If this pocket clip was flat, it would absolutely, I wouldn't say it'd be better than a Pena X series, because I don't think it'd be better, but I honestly think it would be just as good. Absolutely just as good. And it's, even as is, it's an excellent option if you're looking for a Pena X series and you can't find one or you can't afford one. Look no further than the Kansept Reverie, guys, and let me know what you think. If you've handled one, let me know, because I've heard a couple other good things about this, but I'm really surprised they're not getting as much credit. Now, I know Kansept is still kind of a smaller brand compared to the Kaisers and the Civivis and the Wiis and all that of the world, but they really did hit this one out of the park for the most part. They're just missing. They missed on that clip a little, but other than that, I'm still super impressed with this knife, and I do really, really, really like it. If it had a flat clip, I'd absolutely love it. But even as is, it's a fantastic offering from Kansept. The best offering from Kansept, in my opinion, from what I've handled. Hasn't been a lot, but I love the design from Justin. Love the way Kansept executed it. I love just about everything about it. So let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna get these Penas out of the way and give this Kansept a little more time in the sun by itself. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed this one. Check it out. If you like the way it looks, check it out. I'm telling you, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Let me know what you guys think. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And until the next one, I'm out.